Hey, in today's video, I want to talk about how you can get more detailed images. Not necessarily just sharper, but just get more detail in there. Because it is something I get a lot of questions about because a lot of my work is based around extremely detailed images. Now, the easiest fix, and also the most unobtainable fix, is to throw money at the problem. So we're talking high resolution sensors between 50 and 150 megapixels, extremely good optics, Zeiss optics, that sort of thing, Schneider optics. That's probably the easiest way to, instantly fix any problems you have. But also we're talking like £5,000 to £10,000 here. So probably not the most obtainable, but there are other things you can do with the kit you have to achieve sharper images. Now, looking at the resolution of things, yes, a higher resolution camera would give you more detail, kind of. It's not quite as simple as that. But if you have a lower resolution camera, say 10 megapixels, 20 megapixels, 30 megapixels, if you just fill the frame with the subject, you're capturing more detail of the subject. So a lot of people take a shot and they crop in. So rather than doing that, if you get closer and take the shot, you'll be able to capture more detail because more of that sensor is filled with the actual subject. Now, the next one is the sort of light we're using. Now, this current video here, I've got a softbox. There's actually an octabox up here. And that is soft light because I don't want too much detail in my face because I'm getting to an age where that's not necessarily a good thing. The light we have back here, that is a hard specular light, and that will create more detail. It has something, not this one obviously because it's here, but something like this but smaller on there. And it has this nice silver reflection in there, and this creates specular light. Now, when light is specular rather than diffuse, it can create more shadows, and those shadows give the appearance of texture and detail, and that is one of the really simple fixes. So instead of using your big softbox, pull the baffles out so you're getting that specular light from the tinfoily looking thing on the inside, or use a reflector like this so you can get a hard and specular light source, and that'll help you create more detail. Now, in terms of camera settings, choosing the right aperture is very important. I have a lot of people come to me who do still life or product photography and go, I'm just not getting enough detail. And they're shooting at f/22, f/18, f/32, I even saw some at f/64. Each lens has an optimal aperture where it won't get any sharper and it's sort of at its sharpest. This particular lens here, and this copy of it at least, f/10. Past f/10, we start to lose image quality. This lens I'm filming on here, f/8, past that, it gets a bit, we lose some detail. And if you go too wide open on the flip side, you also lose detail. So anything below 2.8 on this lens, not particularly detailed. So choosing that right aperture is very important. And maybe if you have got a lens which is great at 5.6 or f/8, you can't get it enough in focus. That is when we focus stack. And with this, we're getting both the sharpest point in the optics of the lens, but we're also getting more in focus in the shot. And that's a process and a sort of strategy that I use in a lot of my work, between that and using tilt shift lenses and bellows cameras in order to get as much in focus as possible. If we have optimal image quality and maximum focus, we get the appearance of more detail, especially when combined with that sort of specular and hard light. Now, with the aperture needing to be at those things, a lot of people are saying that to get a sharp image, you have to be on a tripod, you have to have a good shutter speed. Maybe if your lens's optimal aperture is f/10 and 100 ISO, getting a good shot without flash is going to be pretty much near impossible. And the reason is, the flash that you use has what's called a flash duration or a T-score, and that is how quickly it can freeze action, or how quickly the light goes from peak output, so the highest output of the flash, to pitch black again. And that part there is often better than any shutter speed. The reason a lot of us use flash rather than LED is because of that. A lot of my flashes will fire at 1/10,000th of a second, so even if my shutter speed is 100th or an 80th or a second, assuming there's no ambient light, it's going to freeze anything anyway. And using flash to freeze that and to allow you to choose your camera settings is really important. So one of the main reasons I shoot with flash is my work is very much perceived in my mind. I don't capture what I see, I create what I want. And with that comes, I choose my camera settings before I do anything else. So I might be like, right, I want f/8, 100th of a second, 100 ISO. That's my best settings for this shot. I will then use that studio lighting to create the scene and allow me to use the optimal settings for my camera. Anyway, I hope this has been of use to you. If you're enjoying these videos, do hit subscribe, and I'll see you all next time. Bye-bye.